So you heard there's raccoons in Stardew Valley? Well, let me explain to you how to complete their quest line. Now, the way it will begin is initially there will be a big tree where this little raccoon guy is. Now, initially he will not be there. Basically, what will happen is you will get a notification that there is a big windstorm in the night on a day where there is no event. When this happens, the tree will fall down and resemble this shape right here. And when it does, you then go up to it with 100 pieces of hardwood, which you have to gather, of course, from different trees, mahogany trees, or finding them in the mines, of course. And then from there you're able to repair it, and this little raccoon buddy will be here. Now begins the quest line. Basically it will start out with just the one raccoon by himself. He'll get himself this little wifey here, and then he'll begin asking you for a series of things which are really easy to obtain. For the most part, it's like dried mushrooms and smoked fish, so just get a fish smoker, make sure you have a dehydrator, to which if you want to get a dehydrator, all you have to do is craft it. Alternatively, if you chose the mushroom cave option, you will have one in the mushroom cave by default. And if you need a fish smoker, if you choose the river farm, you will also get one of those by default, because fishing is supposed to be one of your main sources of income. And yeah, it's pretty cool. Honestly, it's a neat little addition. Like every single time you complete a quest for them, you'll get a reward, and they will also have a new addition to the family. I believe there's about 8 babies in total, and all the items they ask for are relatively simple to acquire, you know, especially if you're like at the end of your first year or second year. They also give you some pretty good rewards like the fairy dust or the raccoon book, which you need for completion for collecting all of the books. So you do have to do this, the raccoon journal right there, for 999 fiber, which is pretty crazy. That's a lot of fiber, you know, gotta get that in you though, especially when you're 30 like me. But that aside, the nice thing too is you can use any rarity of items. So say that you have 2 ghost fish that are gold star, and then you have one that is a purple star, you can use all 3 of them, which is nice. It doesn't like discriminate that way. And you also get this cute little fish tank, which is pretty cool. You can put the fish in there and have a nice little background. Anybody else remember having, like, you would just attach like a little picture on the back of the fish tank to make it look cooler, kind of the poor version of doing it? But yeah, a lot of it'll just be stuff that's really easy, like pickled stuff, or, you know, stuff that you put in the preserve jars or in kegs. So make sure that you're doing a lot of foraging, because leveling up foraging is how you unlock the kegs and preserve jars so that you can make the pickled stuff or the juice they asked for, you know. So make sure that you level those up, or, you know, make sure you keep 1 to 5 of everything. Like, see the 5 cockle here? I basically had to go to the beach numerous days, day after day, to try and find them, and it's a pain. And you know, whether it's for crafting recipes or cooking, you're gonna want to keep at least a couple of every item you can find, which thankfully now they've added the large chests which have 5 rows of items. Like, look at how simple this one is. Just a couple eggs and the dried mushrooms, which all you have to do is put 5 common mushrooms in the dehydrator, wait a day, and boom, you're good to go. Bob's your uncle. There you go. And look, we already have like 6 raccoons and more fairy dust. If you're wondering what the fairy dust does, it allows you to get the product of a keg or preserve jar instantly, which is nice, because if there's stuff that they ask for that you have the means to get, you're good to go. And like here, a smoked bream, you know, bream is a night fish you catch in the river, catch it, throw it in the fish smoker, you're good to go. Like, these quests are super easy, and you do have to do them, like I mentioned, for completion, because there is an achievement for getting all of the books. A lot of the books are in weird places that you wouldn't think. Once you complete, I believe, 8 of their requests, you'll get this little cutscene and unlock the achievement for helping out your little buddies in the valley. Now at the conclusion of this, your achievement should pop for helping out your new buddies in the valley, which is pretty cool. You know, it'll say your neighbors are thriving and you've completed their quest line. You no longer need to do anything for them, but they will still ask for things, which you can still complete and then get neat little rewards. At this point, the rewards kind of slow down, but now that you have done all of these things, you can now buy magic rock candy in the Raccoon store, and also get neat things like the Star Drop Tea, which usually you can only get from the prize machine in Mr. Lewis's house, basically, or Mayor Lewis, whatever, which is pretty cool. You know, you get access to a couple different things, but the magic rock candy, like, that is dope. You know, now you just don't get it from the desert trader, you can get it another way. So doing the quest line is worth it. It's worth it for the completion, it's worth it for the little items you get. You know, like I said before, they're gonna die down. Like, I think we get milk and garlic. You get this book of stars, which, I mean, at this point point you could stop helping them out completely. All it does is give you a bit of XP in all areas, which you can get from the book trader anyways. But yeah, this was just kind of a simple explanation, you know, pretty cool. I love the raccoons. I wish they could live on the farm with me though, that would be sick. But I do like paying them a visit every now and then, and I'm still helping them out. You know, I think I've done like 12 requests at this point. I'm not sure if it stops or if it has an end, but I'm gonna keep doing it and see what I can get so I can tell you guys. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next Stardew Valley video.